back again. Back to back, made back, stack the M's. Told him I miss Slim Shady, bag the M. Once he go black, he'll be back again. Tell him hoes that it's crunch time abdomen. Yes, I caught Mad Chanel and Mad Javin.
Okay, so let's just jump straight into the video. So these are the two powders I use. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I just grab what's in my reach at the moment. So if you guys want to know the difference, I honestly feel like the BW2 Clear Roll powder has a very, very strong smell once the developer hits it. So if you're sensitive to smells and everything like that, I would recommend the Quick Blue. And this is the way when, you know, everybody usually uses this, especially like the little packets, because some people, you know, they don't do hair often, so they just feel like they don't need a lot. This retails for $29.99, and I get this one because, you know, I do hair a lot, so I'd rather buy a very big one than, you know, a lot of small ones. This is what it looks like inside. I already know most of you guys know what it looks like inside, so let me just show for the people who don't. This is just what it looks like inside. It comes with a little scooper and everything like that, and most of them do too. This one is blue. See inside, and it comes with a scooper as well. I think that's very convenient that they put those inside it, so you don't have to, you know, do too much. Anyway, so yeah, this is also thicker. Like when you mix it with the developer, it gets, I wouldn't say so thick that you can't spread it, but I would say if you're new with like using powder and developer and all that stuff like that, I would recommend this because once again, it doesn't really have a strong smell and it's very thick, so it creates less mess compared to this. This is more watery once the developer hits it. I mean, depending on how much you put developer, but if you put the same quantity of developer in here and in here and like the same level cup or bowl or whatever, this is going to be way more thicker. If you want to bleach your bundles or whatever the case may be, this would be very helpful. I wouldn't really recommend this for bundles, but it's going to take you a little while, but you know, whatever. So anyways, yeah, so that's the difference between the both. So for today's video, I'm just going to use the Quick Blue, and this also prevents a lot of mess. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah, this is good for mess. Also, don't mind my nails. I had to cut my nails because I was braiding a client's hair yesterday, so that's dedication. So this is the developer I usually use. It retails for $2.99, which is very cheap, thank God. And I usually use 40 volume developer because I work really fast. So if you don't work that fast, you can always get a 30 volume developer. I honestly feel like there's not really much of a difference. Correct me if it is, but it doesn't really matter with the brands. If you're new to this, I would honestly say to start with maybe a 30. I wouldn't go anything under a 30 because I feel like I don't think anybody's going to be that slow to where they need like a 20 or a 10. But if you really want to be extra careful, I mean, I guess, but it's going to take very, very long to process, like seriously. So if you're new, I would recommend to use 30 volume developer. Once again, I don't think it doesn't really matter what developer you use, to be honest. But today we're going to use the 40. This is just two of the different brands I have. I also have the Salon Care 40, and this I got from Sally's. This was honestly, I don't really remember how much this was. I want to say I think $12 something. I'll put it on the screen once I figure it out. But yeah, and I also link these items down below if you guys want to go buy them. You can buy them from your local beauty supply store. As for this, I only see it in Sally's, so yeah, you can get this from Sally's. So all I take is a little bowl and a little knife. I honestly don't like using the bigger bowls because I just feel like you're only bleaching the frontal, so I don't think it's necessary. So I just use the smallest cup, plastic cup, bowl, whatever I can find, and then I use like a little butter knife, plastic, because you can't put your real shit in there. You don't want to poison your whole family. So now what you're gonna do is you're going to take a full cup. You're going to dump it in. That should be enough. You really don't need a lot. It's only the frontal, remember that. And then I usually eyeball the amount of developer I put in there, so just pay attention. Remember, you don't want to use too much. I'm just gonna mix this in. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. You can always add more, but once you got too much, you either wasting product or wasting product. So And that's another thing too with this developer. I always find myself using a little bit more developer, being that it's so thick. So this is what the knots look like right now. You see those little black little follicles, and then you can also see it up here above. Our goal is to make sure you can't see any black follicles, so that's why you got to make sure you cover the whole back of the frontal. Okay guys, all right, so let's get started. Usually before I start, I like to spray the frontal down just a little bit, the front that is, just to tame the hairs down, because you don't want to have any hairs bleach. You only want the knots bleach. That's what's most important. It doesn't matter if you really get it around your working space, it's just water. We want to keep the hairs back because we really don't want any hairs bleached during the process, only knots. As you can see, it's only on the knots, none is on the actual hair, besides that little piece right there, but you get what I mean.
What we do here is go back.
So I wanted to put it up against some white so you can really see. Starting to look more realistic, but as you can see, there is a little yellow undertone, which is the brassiness of the bleach. I'm going to show you guys in a different light as well. So to eliminate the brassiness, you can use Shimmer Light shampoo. And this is the small one, so it retailed for $6.99. And what I do is I just take it, spread out, and I just run it straight across, just like that. You can use a little bit less, you can use a little bit more. This is preferably how much I like to use. Let me show y'all. See that? And I just basically wash it as if I was about to wash in here. You want to massage the color. You don't want to wash it out. You just want to equally distribute it all over the legs. So we finally made it to the final part, which is plucking. Honestly, plucking could really make or break your frontal and install, period. Like, it really makes a big difference. Now, always remember the objective to plucking is just to make it look very natural. You do not want to bald your frontal. Do not over pluck. You can keep going back and, taking little pieces here, little pieces there, but once you over pluck and it's bald, that's it. You can't go back from that. So just make sure you're very careful. So basically what I start off doing is plucking behind the hairline just so I can give it a gradient effect from thin to medium to, a little bit more thicker in the back. And that's actually mimicking the natural hairline itself. So you guys are going to just see me repeating the same steps over and over again, which is basically plucking behind the hairline and then plucking in front of the hairline, and then I go back in and then I do my ponytail check just to see how overall it's looking. So just look forward to seeing that a lot. Also, another thing I like to do is spray the water on here and there just so it can provide a guideline and also show how much progress I've made so far. Another technique that I found very useful is using a rolling brush. This is also to see, your progress, so it can control the hair and you can get kind of an accurate idea of what your hairline is starting to look like. Now, the technique that I use for in front of the hairline is pluck, skip, pluck, skip. Now, with the pluck, skip technique, you're basically plucking one space, skipping that little space. You're going to pluck again, and then you're going to skip. It's really not that hard. It's not rocket science. But once again, it mimics the natural hairline. So even if you need to use a picture reference, you can see what I'm referring to. So guys, this is the final look, and I must say I am absolutely in love. Like, it looks natural, but it still has some fullness to it. So that's actually the exact look I was going for. I hope this video was very helpful. Make sure you guys comment below and let me know what you think of this look. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you got that notification bell on, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Drip too hard, don't stand too close. You gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows.